हेलो एवरीवन। आज हम स्टडी करेंगे वैलिडेशन डेटा कैसे स्प्लिट करते हैं, वैलिडेशन कैसे होती है, उसके बारे में। ठीक है, तो मैंने आपको पहले भी ये चीज़ बताई है, अगर आपने सारे पीछे के वीडियोस देखे हैं मेरे, कि डेटा सेट को हम दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करते हैं। पहले ट्रेन टेस्ट डेटा, फिर ट्रेन डेटा को और दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करते हैं, ट्रेनिंग एंड वैलिडेशन। ओके, ट्रेन एंड वैलिडेशन। जो वैलिडेशन है डेटा, वैलिडेशन पार्ट को हम यूज़ करते हैं हाइपर पैरामीटर ट्यूनिंग के लिए। हम जितने भी अपने हाइपर पैरामीटर्स हैं उनको ट्रेन करते हैं वैलिडेशन में, और ट्रेन डेटा सेट हम यूज़ करते हैं टू ट्रेन डेटा, to figure out how the data will work, how we are going to learn the patterns in the data. Okay, that part we will do in to learn pattern and data is training part, and test is completely unknown data while training, and we are using it for evaluation of our model. Got it? So now, first cross validation technique that I'm going to do is sorry, this is validation. I told you we will do hyperparameter tuning, but to divide the train into validation, we use the technique which is called as cross validation. Now we will understand how cross validation happens, what are the different types of cross validation. First is, try to understand it very carefully, very important this is, leave one out, cross validation. So in this validation, we will always leave one data out. That means this is very very clear from the name. Okay, for example, you have this training data n equals to 500. Okay, out of 500, one data will be for validation, other 499 for training. Let's say this is my experiment 1. Okay, then in experiment 2, what you will do, you will take second data for validation and other 499 for training. Okay, same way, how many experiment I have to consider? I have to consider 500 experiment, then the last one will be used for validation and other 499 for training. This is how I will validate my data. I will check all other data for training, one for validating whether my training was correct or not. But what happens is, this way is very very time consuming. Let's say it's 10,000 data set rows, 1 lakh rows. You have to do validation for 1 lakh times, which is not correct. Next, very complex method to do. Also, it can cause overfitting of data because every single data we are checking for validation. Okay, overfitting can be there. Data can learn every output. Next is same but little bit different, leave p out, cross validation. CV is cross validation. Okay, what is the meaning? In every experiment I will leave the p data. That means if p value is 5, so first 5 value will be for validation, other 495 for training. In experiment 2, next batch of 5 will be for training. Okay, so in that way I have to run 100 experiments. Okay, this way I will get this done. Okay, so obviously overfitting will be there, time consuming, same disadvantages for leave p out also. Then comes which is, which you should know very in detail, that is k fold cross validation. K fold cross validation means that you will decide the value of k and split the data into k parts, and then you will train on 1 minus k part and validate on the remaining k part. Okay, always remember, split data into k parts. Okay, then you have to do training on k minus 1 parts and validation on 1 part. Okay, and then you have to repeat it how many times? Repeat it k times. This is the process of k fold cross validation. For example, now my n value is 500 is my test size, then I decide that k value is going to be 5. So I have to divide 500 by 5, which is 100. So I have to divide the data into k parts. That means I have to divide my data into 5 parts: 100, 100, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 100, 100. Okay. First 100 is for my validation, all other is for training, all other 400 for training. So this will be for experiment 1. For loop 2, what you will do, this part will be for validation, 100 records for validation, all other for training. Okay, same way you will keep moving this v value, but at every point you will have 100 record for validation. How many experiment I have to do? I have to do 5 experiments like this. K times I have to repeat. Okay, so this is less complex. Not many times you have to do. If you're divided into 3 parts, only 3 times you have to do this process. Okay, but there's one more problem that can come is, for example, your data has 0 and 1 values. Okay, so what may happen is, or let's say 0, 1 and 2 values, what may happen is every time the validation data 100 records you're selecting, it is purely random. Okay, so what may happen is randomly every time in this 100 records 0 is coming, and second time all the records 1 is coming, like more portion of one record is coming. So what will happen is, while hyperparameter tuning, this will disturb the data. Okay, now, okay, let me give you one more good example by which you can understand. For example, your data is like this: 2 2 2 2 2. 1 is one time there, 0 is 0. So 80% of my data is 2, 1% of my data is 20, 0 is just 5%, let's say. So this is called as imbalanced data set. Okay, and when you're selecting randomly your validation, so maybe randomly I'm selecting this block because 2, the value of 2 is more in my data. Maybe next time this validation I'm taking, again next time maybe this I'm taking as validation set. So in imbalanced data set, it may happen that validation data is having only one class. Okay, this in imbalanced data set, are you understanding the problem? Imbalanced data set, it may happen that in some folds, this is folds only, k fold, that means I should have written here fold 1, this is fold 2. Okay, so in some folds only one class is present, only one kind of data is present, or one class is present. So what will happen is hyperparameter tuning will not be correct. So this is not the right way. What happens is, then we use, mostly this is what is used in all the Python libraries, that is stratified k-fold cross validation. So everything is same like k-fold. In stratified we only ensure that each fold has same class proportions. Okay, each fold has same class proportions. It's not like full पूरे एक फोल्ड में एक ही टाइप का डेटा है, वैसा नहीं होगा. अगर हमारा 80% टू है, 1 10 15% है, 0 5% है, तो एक फोल्ड में लेट्स से 2 2 1 0 इस तरह का डेटा होगा. इट विल, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि पूरा ही 2 2 2 2 2 का डेटा हो गया. ओके, सो इस तरह से हमारी प्रिजर्व रहेगी क्लास की प्रोपोर्शंस. लेट से अगर ए का डेटा 70% है मेरे डेटा में, बी 30% है, तो सेम मेरे वैलिडेशन में फोल्ड में भी इसी तरह से डेटा होगा. ओके, अब नेक्स्ट जो लास्ट है वो है टाइम सीरीज. टाइम सीरीज क्रॉस वैलिडेशन, की टाइम सीरीज अगर डेटा है तो क्रॉस वैलिडेशन कैसा होगा. अब टाइम सीरीज डेटा क्या है, टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग होता है कि आज क्या है कल क्या है, उसके बेसिस पे. तो अगर हम टाइम सीरीज डेटा देखते हैं तो हम क्या करते हैं, यूजुअली हम ट्रेन करते हैं पास्ट पे. ओके, वी ट्रेन ऑन पास्ट डेटा एंड वैलिडेट ऑन फ्यूचर डेटा. इट्स नॉट लाइक यू हैव टू डू, इसमें आपको सिक्वेंशियल चलना होगा, आप ऐसे रैंडम डेटा सेलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. ओके, एंड वैलिडेट ऑन फ्यूचर डेटा. इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा समझने के लिए नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरे पास डे 1 का डेटा है, उसके बाद डे 2 का डेटा है, डे 3, डे 4, डे 5 टिल डे n फॉर एग्जाम्पल। तो मैं क्या करूँगी, लेट्स से फर्स्ट 4 डेटा पे मैं ट्रेन कर रही हूँ अपने मॉडल को, तो इसके बाद लास्ट जो ये वैल्यूज़ है इसमें मैं क्या कर लूँगी, वैलिडेशन, क्योंकि मैं इसमें रैंडमली डेटा सेलेक्ट नहीं कर सकती। गॉट इट। सो आई होप कि आपको लीव वन आउट, लीव पी आउट, के फोल्ड, स्ट्रैटिफाइड के फोल्ड एंड टाइम सीरीज में कैसे क्रॉस वैलिडेशन होती है ये समझ में आया है। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। कोई भी लीनियर रिग्रेशन, कोई भी रिग्रेशन या क्लासिफिकेशन मॉडल हमें मशीन लर्निंग में करना है तो हम इसमें क्रॉस वैलिडेशन यूज़ करते ही है। थैंक यू। सब्सक्राइब कीजिए मेरे चैनल को, प्लेलिस्ट को देखिए एंड अपनी डीप लर्निंग की नॉलेज को और एनहांस कीजिए।